special guest, a man who had to abandon everything he has to do in this country. His office is one of the busiest offices in this country. Just to join us in Bayelsa State, to celebrate this project with us, because he is also part of the architect of this project. That is why he's here himself to commission this project. Let me recognize the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC, Barrister Olanikpeku Olukayode. You're welcome, sir. He's not here alone. He's here with the Secretary of EFCC and also the Director of Proceeds of Crime. He's here with his team too, to also see what they supported the NDDC to achieve. At this point, members of the Bayelsa State House of Assembly, traditional rulers, directors of NDDC, women and youths of Ogbuku local government and Bayelsa State and Niger Delta, members of the security agencies that are here. I can see the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the police, the DSS, the PANDEF chairman that is also here. I recognize you. He came all the way from Abuja in celebration of what we are celebrating today. Well, on this point, having established the protocol, I want to say we're here today to commission two projects in Bayelsa. First, the NDDC Renewed Hope Ultra-Modern Training Center, which is just behind me. This project was conceived by this administration as part of the way of bridging the gap of training deficiency in our region. The concept of this project was conceived in a way that it can be a hybrid project. A project that during the flooding season, people who are displaced can also have a shelter and also a place for training and learning. Not just because they are displaced to be left for their fate. In Bayelsa, we know where we used to know as IDP camp before now was Osbo Lake, which was just open. People take over school buildings, and once there is flood, schools close because people take over school buildings. And we thought we had to create an ultra-modern structure, facility that will be a hybrid facility to accommodate people both in emergency situation, and when we don't have emergency, the facility can be used for training of people, especially youths. That is the building we are commissioning today. This project, as the EDP said, was conceived and awarded in the year 2023, just 2 years after we are here for commissioning. We are commissioning this project. I know when we say 2 years after, some persons are surprised because of the size of the project, because a lot of persons in the past used to see NDDC as a parastatal that never completes projects, but only abandoned projects. But the narrative has changed. This narrative has changed because we have a leadership that is purposeful, a leadership that have decided to turn away from the past, a leadership that is willing to deliver the deliverables of democracy to the people of the Niger Delta. It is because we have a president that cares, a president that listens, a president that is result-oriented. We in NDDC today, we are not just doing propaganda, we are showing you our achievements. These achievements are based on the directives of Mr. President, because during inauguration and during our retreat, we were asked to sign a performance bond by the ministry through the directives of Mr. President. And having signed that performance bond, we are under obligation to perform. We are under obligation to ensure that our people do not complain. Hence today, the NDDC you see is carrying out projects everywhere in the nook and crannies of the Niger Delta. It is not only in Bayelsa. Every state is feeling the projects we are carrying out simultaneously. Every part of the Niger Delta you go to, you see NDDC projects. And most of these projects are either near completion or are being completed. Like I would say, most of the projects we are conceiving and carrying out in NDDC today are not projects that we just sit down and just assume that we just need to build structures. Most of our projects are based on needs assessment. And these needs assessments are done through consultations. Because one of the cardinal points of the Renewed Hope agenda is stakeholders engagement. Through our stakeholders engagements and needs assessment, we have come to realize most of the needs of our people. That is why every project we carry out are projects that meet the needs of the people. For example, we came up with the Operation Light Up the Niger Delta. It was because we saw the gap of insecurity in the Niger Delta, and most communities were in the dark. And because most of these communities were in the dark, criminals took advantage of these communities and they started perpetrating crimes. Most of our women were not safe in the communities. Most of our fathers were not safe in communities. So we decided to come up with the Light Up Niger Delta. And everybody here can attest to the fact that through the Light Up the Niger Delta is more peaceful, safe, and secure. Through the Light Up the Niger Delta, you find out that even in communities where there is no light, students read under the solar lights that are being provided. These lights are not only being provided to you because you might think that some of them are not sustainable. The NDDC is also working out arrangement for maintenance. But what we want you people to do for us as communities is to ensure that you protect these facilities. Because we are aware that some of these things are being stolen. Please, they are there to serve you. They are yours. Protect them. Now, we also looked at the gap in education. We realized that in the past, we have built school buildings, and most of these school buildings, you realize that maybe they might not have enough teachers in some of these communities to teach them. Some of these communities, we realize that during break, teachers go to farm. So most of our children are always stranded in class. And because they were stranded, we believe we cannot produce a future behind us that is illiterate. We felt, let us build a structure where most of these children can also bridge the gap of digital education. NDDC decided to invest on procuring 45,000 U-lesson tabs to ensure that we give to children both in secondary and primary schools in the Niger Delta, which is the largest acquisition of these U-lesson digital tabs. These digital tabs, as we speak, are being distributed across the schools in the Niger Delta for our children to benefit from it. Let them from this age understand how it feels to use digital tab so that they can also be compliant with computer, because we also see of our students that we send on scholarship, one of the major challenges they face is the fact that they are not computer literate. So they spend most of their time trying to catch up with computer, and that also reduces their grade in performance. So we want these children that are coming up to be computer compliant. That is why we're doing that. Another issue again in the educational gap was the issue of lack of teachers. We realized that our children must be taught. As much as we're investing on the virtual learning, which is using the digital tab, we must also have the on-site learning in our communities, because that is where discipline is being instilled. So we realize that most of our teachers, most of our corpus that are being posted to our communities do not stay because they don't have conducive places to stay. Hence, most of them, they want to post themselves out of our states. So we decided to come up with building of corpus lodges. And I can assure you that the NDDC corpus lodges are 5-star corpus lodge that no copper will want to leave. When you come to our corpus lodge, you want to stay and you not think of how to find a way to push yourself out of those places. These are tips I'm giving to you about some of the results of our needs assessment that have driven some of the projects we have carried out. We are not talking about roads. We are not talking about other sectors that we have supported. We are not talking about youth training. We are not talking about other things. But now, having carried out other projects such as infrastructural projects, we talk about road construction, youth training, and the rest of them. In keying into Mr. President's agenda, NDDC is going to be 25 years on the 12th of next month, and we're inviting all of you to join us in celebrating NDDC. We are not only celebrating NDDC because we want to celebrate NDDC. We want to celebrate the vision of our founding fathers. We want to celebrate the vision of the Niger Delta people because we believe our leaders, our fathers, had a vision before they fought for the NDDC, and that is what we're celebrating. Let us use this celebration to measure our successes. Use this celebration to measure our failures. Use this celebration to also measure things that we need to improve on. Having said that, in the next phase, NDDC will be keen into Mr. President's vision of agriculture, ensuring that we use agriculture as a platform for peace and security in the Niger Delta. Because they say a hungry man is an angry man. We cannot only train people for training's sake. We want to ensure that we want to invest hugely in agriculture to ensure that we promote agriculture, partnering with all the state governments in the Niger Delta to ensure that we have a proper agricultural program that will benefit the people of the Niger Delta. Hence, anytime from now, NDDC will be writing to the state governments for the commissioners for agriculture to come over for a mini agricultural retreat, which we are going to promote that retreat based on what we want to do as a region, because every state in the Niger Delta have their various areas of strength, have their various areas where they are better in agriculture. We want to put that together, create a regional integration for agriculture. After having that retreat, we will now promote it to the level of having a regional agricultural summit, where we'll come up with a master plan for agriculture in the Niger Delta, where NDDC want to partner with the state governments in promotion of food security in the Niger Delta, tapping into Mr. President's vision for the people of Nigeria. Who tells you that some of the food or crops that are being imported into the region cannot be grown in this region? Let us try and ensure that as a region, we come together to ensure that we have food sufficiency, food security. Most of our staples do not grow again in this region. Today, the Ogbuku people know that our common staple was cocoyam, which is amasi. Today, you cannot find it again in our land. Why can't we find it? Let us see how we can ensure that we grow those things we don't have anymore. We can come together. The land is there. If it is a research we have to do to ensure that we enrich the soil to grow those staples, let us do. That is going to be part of the result of that summit that we are going to have in ensuring that as a region, we have food security. So, having said that, I want to say that, all these things have only been achieved because we have people who are working with us. They say the smartness of a monkey is based on the proximity of the trees. No monkey can be smart if the trees are far. So we are not the smartest people. It does not mean we understand administration better than everybody. It is because people have come together to make it easy for us. And those people have come together to make it easy for us, our leaders. Mr. President is there, is giving us that purposeful guidance under the Renewed Hope agenda. The Renewed Hope agenda is defined by me as a social contract that is transmitting ideas, vision into reality. And you can see that with what we have achieved so far is transmitting vision and ideas into reality. And that can only be achieved under the Renewed Hope. Where you think impossibilities cannot be possible, but under the Renewed Hope agenda, impossibilities are now possible. That is why we can start a project in 2 years of this magnitude and finish it. Now, we also have our minister who has been there supporting us all the way. Where we make wrongs, he calls us, he advises us. We have had that fatherly relationship with him, and he has always supported us all the way. It is on us to ensure that we deliver on the mandate of Mr. President. We have the National Assembly, where we have a father at the helms, the President of the Senate, who has ensured that we have the best of cooperation with the National Assembly, where all what we do to ensure that the legislations backing all our budget and the procurement is being done. Everything is done expeditiously. We also want to say they are part of those people who have really supported us. Then you come to my governing board. The governing board that was put together by Mr. President, put together wonderful men of the Niger Delta, people who are determined to make a difference, people who want to ensure that we achieve, people who have said and have sworn that we are going to be the best governing board of the NDDC. They are here, all in their numbers. They have also supported. Then we come to the state governors who have also given us support all the way in all the states where we operate. They have given us the best of cooperation. They have never made things difficult for us. We also say thank you to all the state governors, using the governor of Bayelsa State as a point of contact to reach out to all the state governors. Then we talk to our stakeholders. You have given us all the support. All the support you've given to us, we don't take it for granted. We are really, really encouraged by all your support. With the support you've given to us, you are telling us, do more. And we are assuring you we are going to do more. Then to the security agencies, you have done very, very well in the Niger Delta. Without peace and security, there can never be development. You have given us the needed peace and stable environment for us to carry out such projects. You can imagine, as distant as this project is, without security, many contractors will be afraid to come deep into this place to carry out the job. But this project was completed on record time without any security issue. I want to say thank you to all the security agencies in the Niger Delta. And we are very, very much committed to supporting you. Now, saving the best for the last. Let me tell you the story, especially for this project. This project was a project that was carried out by the recoveries of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. When the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission called us that yes, they had recovered funds from IOC's non-remittance for the NDDC, we sat down with the Economic and Financial Crime Commission under this Renewed Hope agenda, trying to do things differently. And they asked us, they want to know what we want to do with this money, because they don't want a situation whereby these funds will be relooted. And we sat down with them and agreed with them and signed a bond with them that trust us that we're going to ensure that these funds are put into projects that will benefit the people of the Niger Delta. And they asked us projects such as what? We gave them ideas of one of these projects. This project that you're seeing is not only this one. This project, we're building it across the region. We have another such project in Oti, in Bayelsa State. We have in Ozoro in Delta. We have in Patani in Delta. We have in Rivers. We have in Akwa Ibom. We're also building a door. We are trying to spread these training centers across the Niger Delta so that Niger Delta youths will not have the challenge of training facilities. Because sometimes you find out that if you look across the region, when it comes to training, they take people to Lagos, they take people to different parts of the country and not this region. We need to bridge that gap. First and first, let us provide the facility. When we provide the facility, the next stage will be the manpower, which we are going to work with private sector partners to ensure that we create the enabling manpower that will drive this facility so that it will serve the purpose. So coming back to our relationship with EFCC, we assure the EFCC that we are going to deliver. And I can assure you, those funds have been put into proper use, and those funds were judiciously used in the various projects that we agreed with the EFCC that we are going to execute. And this is one of those projects that is ready for commissioning. That is why the chairman of EFCC himself is here to carry out that commissioning. So the chairman of EFCC coming here to carry out this commissioning does not mean NDDC is exempted from EFCC investigation. He's only here to complement what we have done. He's only here to come and see for himself, because my EDP believes it. If Unaya see and believe. So I believe the chairman himself will be satisfied and pleased that yes, the meeting they had with the NDDC that was like stinking before the EFCC, they should know that this is a born again NDDC, that if we make promises, we are going to fulfill them. So Mr. Chairman, this project stands as a partnership between the NDDC and the EFCC. The EFCC did the recovery, the NDDC did the procurement and the expenditure. And this is a money well spent. I can assure you, when you go into this facility, by the time you see the finishing and the quality, you'll be impressed. And other agencies will come and learn from NDDC. If those who used to say NDDC projects are substandard, please let them come and see our projects today. Even my minister himself, who is an engineer, can attest to the fact that NDDC projects today are of quality, because my minister is a certified civil engineer and is a member of the Society of Engineers, fellow of Society of Engineers, and we know that yes, he cannot also give bad report due to his relationship with his organization. My minister in various fora have also confirmed that NDDC projects are of high standard. Both our road projects and this one, I challenge everybody to come and take a look at it. I believe if you have the opportunity to have access to this place, you want to live here, you don't want to go back again. On this note, I want to, in closing, say thank you to all of you. From here, we'll be going to also commission our state office of the NDDC. It is very, very amazing that in 25 years, NDDC before now had only one built state office that was standing, apart from the Imo state office that NDDC inherited from Ompadek. But I can tell you, and I can assure you, that in 3 years, in 2 years, in the space of 2 years, under the guidance of our leaders and our president, NDDC under the renewed hope will be commissioning the Bayelsa State Office, which I can tell you that is one of the best facilities in this state, and it is ultra modern. That facility was gotten under this administration. And last week Friday, we commissioned the Cross River State NDDC office, and next week we'll be commissioning the Delta State NDDC office. That of Akwa Ibom is coming up very, very fast. Other ones are coming up very fast, because our minister has given us the marching order that NDDC cannot be staying in rented offices, that NDDC have come of age where we must have our own offices. And I can tell you, we are following that directive, and that is why we are commissioning these state offices. These state offices we are commissioning is also institutionalizing the commission. That is to say, in 25 years, a child that is 25 years cannot be living with his mother and his father again. A child of 25 years don't reach to buy his own house. So NDDC is 25, we don't buy our own house. So nobody rent again. So on this note, I want to say thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and enjoy the remaining part of your stay in